Today we're going to be talking about the importance of overcoming our shortcomings or flaws and analyzing them and understanding what caused them and how to fix them. Taking the time to sit and analyze your shortcomings is crucial when it comes to building a healthy life and healthy relationships with the people around us. Our flaws are often overlooked to the point where they end up causing us such a big issue in our lives that we can't ignore it anymore. I know many people believe that it's about affirming yourself and that you are perfect and you never need to change. But I think we all know deep down that this isn't the case. When we have flaws and shortcomings that are polluting our lives, we often ask ourselves, why me? Why does everything bad always happen to me? And this poor me attitude or why me attitude is the exact thing that is blinding you from what the real problem is. If you stay in this world where you are perfect and the world is out to get you will only find yourself in a continuous downward spiral. But the beautiful thing about life is we can change. Even though it's hard to take steps to make that change in our life, I promise it's possible. The first step of this process is to sit down and analyze what are your shortcomings and your flaws. Often it could be hard to see these things, but what parts of yourself do you need work on? Do you want to change? Set a timer for 30 minutes and dedicate that time to sitting in silence and just thinking. Put your phone away. Find a quiet place to just sit and think. For some of us, maybe we realize that we don't like how distant we are from our family. Or maybe you realize that you've been isolating yourself. Maybe you find that you lack self-control. Or you're lazy and don't take the opportunities that are set before you. Now, knowing your flaws is great, but that won't fix the problem. So once you have a list on paper or in your head about the things you need to change, you now have to sit and think deeper. Try to look back and understand what is causing this shortcoming, what is causing this flaw. Maybe you end up realizing that you isolate yourself because you've been hurt and now you're living with this constant fear of getting hurt again. Maybe you realize that you lack self-control because you used bad habits to cope when you were a child. Or maybe you find that you are lazy because you're sad or you lack a sense of purpose. All these things that you start to realize are key to finally changing and becoming the person you want to be. But there's one more step to finally overcome these flaws and a way to heal and finally move on. This final step is to now have a solution plan that is unique to you and the issue. I could have used so many different examples for flaws, but I'm gonna stick to the same ones for the video. So the first example I gave was isolation, and that the reason for your isolation was that you were scared of getting hurt again. Now, obviously, we can't fix this problem by banning all hurt from our lives because that's impossible. But what we can do is realize that we've been hurt in the past and realize that it's time to find a plan to heal and to get rid of that fear, because you can't live like that. It will cause other issues in your life, you know? Maybe your way of healing is going to therapy. Maybe it's going to the gym. But whatever it is, you need to find a way to heal and to rewire your brain into knowing that you have this fear and that you can overcome it. To also understand that it's not okay to isolate yourself from the world and do whatever you can to heal yourself from that and to get out of that, you know? Another example I gave was laziness. And after, you realized that you're lazy because you're sad or you lack a sense of purpose in your life, well, now it's time to sit down and understand, why are you sad? Are you not in the situation you want to be in? Or is there something that you're just not really facing and you're kind of hiding from? It could be lots of different things. And, it is okay to be sad, but it's not okay to be lazy. And sadness will go away, but the longer you're lazy, the longer you will be sad. But maybe you're lacking a sense of purpose. That is when you need to take time to yourself and understand that you need to go out and look for your purpose. You don't want to just be born and be like, this is my purpose. Like, you want to go out and look for it and find new things about yourself. Of course, I believe that God gives us all the purpose He gives us to fulfill on this earth. And I can do a video on this if you guys want, just comment down below. But talking in a more general sense, you need to go out there and experience new things and understand what is your calling. What do you think will work for you? But you won't find purpose when you are just putting it off and just being lazy and watching TV all day. I could go on and on about examples of shortcomings and flaws because people are all different. We all have different flaws. People think different and have different past stories. But one more thing I want to talk about that is huge when it comes to our flaws is allowing our insecurities to cloud our judgment. Insecurities are so dangerous, and we need to learn how to overcome them. Insecurities often seem so innocent, and people often think it's okay because it only affects me, but this could not be further from the truth. A great example of this is when I was in high school. I was kind of standoffish, or like too shy, in a sense where I would have friends and I had this weird thing where they would have to say hi to me first before I said hi to them. And it was because I had some weird insecurity where I felt annoying to them, or like I was bugging them. But in reality, because I let these thoughts and insecurities cloud my judgment, I just came off as cocky and flat out rude. This is a brief example of what I'm talking about, but it's a perfect example of showing that these insecurities don't just affect you, but they could affect other people and your actions towards other people. Because if I was acting that way, I might have made people feel unimportant and that I didn't care about them. And maybe I made them feel bad about themselves. But in conclusion to all of this, don't wait for these problems to get so big that they will ruin so much in your life. And don't wait for something or someone to come in your life and to save you from them, because that's not how it works. In fact, the problems you are ignoring right now will only bleed into your life and bleed into your future relationships with people. The longer you ignore these problems, the bigger the problem will become. So take some time to sit and understand what these flaws are and how to fix them. And these type of things take time. So that is why right now is the perfect time to start. And if there are any topics that you want me to make a video on, please comment it down below. And thank you for watching.